A man is fighting against a horde of enemies, yet despite wielding a sword he can fight off against armed men with guns. His sword is fast and precise enough to split bullets in half. Soon he cleans up his sword as all the enemies are either dead or fled from fear. He asks to chase, but the man in the darkness stops him as it would be just a waste of time. He then assigns the swordsman with a mission to investigate a daughter of a rich family and orders him to leave. The man with the sword is Vampire Kufa. He is an assassin whose goal is to cleanse people assigned to him by the guild. Kufa gets off the train when another person leaves at the same time. The other person is a beautiful girl who greets Kufa, so he also treats her like a lady as he helps her get off. The girl is glad that she met someone as kind as Kufa, which makes her feel very welcome as it's her first time here. After this small chit-chat, Kufa heads to his goal, which is the household of the Platten family. There he is greeted by the maids and is about to head inside when his eyes catch a beautiful young girl. The girl gets nervous upon seeing Kufa and falls off the balcony. Kufa jumps in to save her and she falls right into his arms like a princess. This makes her blush as she feels a bit warm. She asks Kufa if he is her new instructor. Kufa affirms as he puts her down. After learning of his role, he tells the girl that he would also be her assistant at the academy. The young girl is Melida of the Angel family. Their family is an upper-class family that has been serving mankind for a long time now. However, despite being in such a noble family, Melida cannot use mana. Mana is something that empowers humans to reach lengths that can only be described as godlike. Later, Melida heads to the academy with Kufa by his side, where a bunch of girls are dueling each other for practice. One of the girls, Nerva, mocks Melida and challenges her. Melida can't back down, so she accepts the challenge. Despite trying her best and having really good physical abilities, she is unable to even land a hit on Nerva and loses miserably. Nerva laughs at Melida as she ridicules her for being mana-less. If Melida was good, she would have said, "At least I am not bitchless." But she swallows the insult and just keeps her mouth shut. However, Nerva is a menace and informs the other girls of Melida's dream of joining the Crest Legion and becoming the sword of hope for people. She even ridicules her for trying to be friends with Elise, who is much superior to her despite being her cousin. Hearing this, Elise is about to step out, but Melida runs away. Elise chases after her, but Melida doesn't listen to her and asks her to shut her bitch ass up. At home, Kufa analyzes all the details as he concludes that Melida is not the daughter of the Paladin family, so he has to do his job, which is to assassinate her. If she was indeed the daughter, he would have supported her and raised her to be the jewel of the family. But fate is sometimes too unkind and unjustified. Kufa prepares his tools as he heads out to Melida's room to assassinate her and free her of her miserable life. Just when he is about to enter the room, he hears wind whirling, so he checks and finds the windows open. He chases after her traces and soon finds her fighting alone against lycanthropes. The lycanthropes are giving a tough time to poor Melida, who can't even use her mana. Soon she falls and is stomped on by the lycanthropes, who seem to be enjoying this. However, beating her isn't that satisfying, so they grab her hair and are about to ruin it, but Melida cries and begs them to not do it as it's the only thing her mom left behind for her. Seeing her determination softens Kufa's heart as he puts down his assassin's pride and saves Melida from the lycanthropes. He kneels in front of her as he swears his loyalty. He gives Melida two choices. One, either live her life as a mediocre princess, or other, use his method to unlock her mana, but it has a great chance to cripple or kill her. Melida accepts the second option without any hesitation. Kufa pulls out a vial from his pocket and drains the liquid into his mouth, and then, using the kiss, he transfers the fluid into Melida's body. Drinking the liquid makes Melida fall. In her subconscious, she seems to be falling into an ocean that melts away everything. Soon she is reborn and unlocks the latent mana inside her body. The maids are exhilarated to see Melida finally unlock her mana as they celebrate, while the whole villa is in the mood for celebration. Kufa thinks about the consequences, as now he has to keep Melida's identity hidden, as the person who gave him this task is none other than Melida's own family. Later at night, Kufa inspects the body of Melida to make sure she is fine. After making sure, he asks her to put her clothes on as he reminds her to keep her mana hidden till next week. The reason for his concern is that Melida's class isn't paladin but samurai, the same one as him. Melida doesn't understand why she should hide her mana, so Kufa explains to her that exposing her class would lead people to question her identity as the child of the paladin family. Hearing his explanation, Melida promises that she will bear it for a while and hide her mana. The next day at school, Melida is about to leave the class when Nerva comes up to her and asks her why she is reading this book about mana utilization when she doesn't even have a single ounce of mana. Melida is about to say something, but Nerva snatches her book and leaves with a haughty attitude. Kufa is standing outside and hears everything, but he doesn't take any action and lets her have the fun, as the one laughing in the end would be Melida, not her. Melida and Kufa are on their way when they stumble into Elise, who is also with her instructor. Her instructor is none other than the clumsy girl Kufa met at the station, Rossetti. She is exhilarated to see Kufa again and shakes his hand enthusiastically. She proposes the idea of them training together, but Kufra rejects it as he believes that she would be a bad influence on his cute pupil. Later, it's finally time for the big reveal as Kufra and Melida make their way to the Colosseum where the battle will take place. Melida is nervous as she has been a shut-in ever since she discovered that she can't use mana, but Kufra encourages her and assures her that everything will be fine. In the building, they once again stumble into the haughty Nerva, who suggests Melida go back home as she would only disgrace herself here in this tournament. This time Kufra doesn't listen to her bullshit as he stands and roasts her entire existence in front of her. Nerva gets enraged as she speaks badly about him, which causes Melida to get angry on behalf of Kufra as he asks her to shut her mouth. Seeing Melida speak in front of her surprises Nerva as she threatens him that she will destroy her in the battle. A few moments later, the battle is about to start between both teams, Nerva's team versus Melida's team. Melida is nervous as her father Felgus is watching her. The fight begins as Melida runs towards Nerva at full speed. Nerva laughed haughtily as she wanted nothing more than this, so she attacks her with her staff, but Melida easily deflects her, causing great shock to everyone. Nerva goes crazy after seeing that Melida can use mana and start to attack crazily, but her fate is set in stone ever since she badmouthed Kufra. Even after being defeated, Verna can't believe she lost and starts to contemplate her life. After the fight, Nerva runs up to Kufra, but he catches her and lifts her in the air. She gets embarrassed and asks him to put her down as she is not a child anymore. At that same time, Melida's father happens to be passing by, so Melida stops him and tells him about her victory. Her father tells her to not get haughty as it was just her first victory. Melida gets disappointed, so Kufra encourages her as that it's an improvement that her father even wanted to talk to her. They are both about to leave when Nerva comes up to them, gives Melida her book back and runs away. Melida smiles and says nothing. A few days later, Melida invites Kufra to a festival and wants to dance together with him, but he declines as he has work to do and can't attend the festival. However, he promises her that he will try to be back by the last day so he can have a dance with her, which makes Melida happy as she thanks him. On the other hand, Elise is also preparing for the festival. Her caretaker chooses a dress for her which is better than everyone else's. However, this doesn't make Elise happy as she wants to be the same as everyone else. At the festival, all the girls mock Elise for being rich and haughty, which makes Elise cry as she runs towards a silent place. Melida chases after her and is about to console her, but they are attacked by lycanthropes and a human. Melida wakes up and finds herself in a dark location with a bandage around her arm which seals her mana. She looks around and sees the man who kidnapped her and asks him to free her. The man laughs as he tells her that he knows that she has samurai class instead of her family's paladin class. But he proposes the idea that he can transfuse Elise's paladin mana into her, which will make her seem like a legit daughter of their family. Melida is shocked, but she tells him that she is happy enough to have the same class as her teacher. However, the man doesn't listen to her as he asks his minions to bring Elise in. However, Elise gets afraid after seeing the Halloween faces and starts to cry. Melida can't see this as this reminds her of her childhood memories, so she crushes the nearby skeleton and lets it fall onto the minions, which causes Elise to be free. She grabs Elise's arm and runs away as the man chases after them. The fight doesn't end here as Melida uses the special gems on Elise's dress to light up a fire stick, which she uses to burn the pumpkin head. However, her attack isn't effective against the bandaged man, who slams her down. He is about to get close to them, but after seeing the glare in their eyes, he backs away as he orders his minions to kill them. Fortunately, Kufra and Rossetti arrive on time and save the girls. Rossetti takes the minions head-on while Kufra chases after the bandaged man. Kufra recognizes the man to be half lycanthropes and half human. These types of people are artificially created to fight against the mana users. Seeing this, he summons a monster, which is an artificial lycanthrope created by their faction. Kufra tries to fight against the monster but gets his arm torn off by it instead. But he doesn't give up as he continues to struggle with one arm, but it proves to be useless as the monster engulfs him whole. The bandaged man laughs hysterically and calls Kufra stupid for dying like this. He is about to leave when suddenly the monster starts to shake and explodes. From within, a white-haired Kufra appears, who picks up his arm from the ground and attaches it back like it never got torn off. Seeing this, the bandaged man gets shocked as he recognizes Kufra to be the legendary lycanthrope known as Vampire. He gets terrified as he backs away, but Kufra doesn't give him a chance as he slams him into a wall, rendering him useless and full of fear. Kufra gives him a chance that he will let him live if he tells his client that he saw Melida using paladin mana. The bandaged man promises Kufra as he leaves, but before leaving he asks Kufra if it is worth it to raise a girl like Melida to be the strongest when she would raise her blade against her kind. Kufra tells him that he will gladly put his neck in front of her at that time. Later, Melida is standing alone seeing people enjoying the festival when Kufra appears and asks for her hand. She accepts his hand and dances with him. She also proposes to Kufra that when she is grown up, he will marry her. Kufra doesn't answer as he says that he will forever be by her side. Elise and Melida are walking beside each other as their instructors follow them from behind. They both walk into the academy grounds where the headmistress informs them of the Luna Lumer tournament. The winner would be granted the title of Moon Goddess. This year's 2 cadets are Elise and Melida. This surprises everyone as they don't expect a useless person like Melida to get chosen as well. After the announcement, the students chose one of the cadets as their leader. After the ceremony, the other girls whisper around as they spread rumors that Melida used her connections to get the role of the cadet. Melida hears this and tries to tell Kufa that she didn't do anything. Kufa assures her that he believes in her and that she should believe in him too. Melida's team consists of Nerva and one of her previous teammates. To make her strong enough to fight against Elise, Kufa gives them harsh training. While Melida is taking a rest, a senior student comes up to her and tells her that she must win this tournament, so she can prove that she is indeed the daughter of Angel's family. Kufa notices something as he heads out to the open grounds where he meets a person in a hood. The person communicates using burning papers. Kufa recognizes her to be Black. Kufa asks her of her goals, so she tells him that she needs Kufa to kill Melida. But Kufa gets angry, which leads to a fight between them. Their fight, however, is interrupted by Rossetti, who comes to his rescue. Seeing this, Black runs away, leaving the words that she will always be in the shadows. Rosty asks Kufa who that woman was. He tells her that her class is a clown which can replicate any class. Rossetti is shocked to hear that such a class exists. Later, Rossetti and Kufa head to the Academy Master and inform her of the incident, but the Master refuses to budge as she tells them that the tournament will go on without any problem. It's finally the day of the battle, and the stage is set for the girls. Kufa is also ready as he surveys the nearby students looking for Black. Inside the stage, the fight begins as the girls charge at each other. While on the outside, Kufa manages to find a suspicious-looking girl, so he decides to confront her. But after seeing her high-ranked class, he kneels as he asks for her identity. The girl introduces herself as Mule, from the Lamour family. Kufa apologizes to her as he knows that Black cannot replicate high-ranked classes. The girl picks up her bag and heaves a sigh of relief. The fight between Elise and Melida's team continues as Melida heads to the room where Elise is currently standing and confronts her. They both fight head-to-toe with each other, but soon Elise starts to lose and loses terribly at the hands of Melida. After the fight, they both hug each other as they have finally resolved their conflict. However, their happy reunion is interrupted by Black, who has snuck in using Nerva's identity. She is here to do her job of finishing Melida when Kufa manages to arrive on time and put a stop to her ambitions. Kufa doesn't let go of this opportunity as he uses Black to infiltrate into the academy as an instructor. The tournament ends with Melida being granted the final victory. The next day, the girls head to an unofficial party organized by their seniors. It's located in a secret location so no one can find them. All the girls enjoy their time as they snack on food and gossip like every other teenage girl. It's getting boring, so one of the girls starts to talk about a horror story of a woman and her lover. In the story, a man loves his woman so much that he cuts her heart out. However, the heart speaks to the man and asks him if he is okay, darling. The man starts to regret his choice and drowns himself along with his heart. But the story doesn't end here, as the woman who died came back and started to seek revenge on young women. She would go into the streets at night and dig out the hearts of young women from their bodies. Hearing the story, both Melida and Elise get afraid as they hug each other. Melida asks to confirm if the story is just a story or not. However, the answer comes in the form of all the candles being blown out by the wind. One of the seniors is about to light the candles when they see a shadowy figure of a woman. Seeing her, the first word that popped into everyone's mind was the Grey Witch from the story. One of the seniors takes the witch head on but is quickly defeated. Melida uses her brain as she throws the blanket at the witch and runs away. They run away into the waterways of the city, where they are greeted by weird slimy stuff that falls on top of everyone. After getting out of the waterways, they are still chased by the Grey Witch, so they keep on running when eventually they stumble into Kufa, who has blood in his mouth and chest. The girls scream as the scene cuts. The next moment, the girls sit in front of Kufa as they stare at him, intending to kill him. They call him a pervert for pulling such a hideous prank on them. So to pay off his debt, he lets the girls sleep together in his room as he tells them a bedtime story. Kufa is accompanying Melida to the academy when someone passes by them and hands Kufa something. After a while, they stumble into Elise and Rossetti. Rossetti comes up to Kufa and begs him to act as her boyfriend. She informs him that her father is going to marry her to someone, so she needs somebody to act as her fake boyfriend. Kufa accepts her request as he decides to play along. However, his decision doesn't make Melida very happy as she acts grumpy. At the academy, Rossetti's father makes a special visit as the schoolmaster personally escorts him to the academy. Upon seeing Kufa's face, Rossetti's father gets shocked as he is reminded of someone who is supposed to be dead. He lets it go as he leaves with the schoolmaster. Kufa also excuses himself as he leaves. Melida is sitting in the dining hall when she thinks of Kufa and can't help but get up and go up to him. But on her way, she hears the commotion and rushes towards it. She finds a bunch of students surrounding an unconscious student. Kuffa is also there when Melida comes up to him. Seeing the commotion, Rossetti's father checks the girl and sees that she has no physical injuries, so he pulls a tube out of his pocket and pours it on flame, which turns into blue color. He tells everyone that the culprit is a male teenager. Everything points at Kuffa, but he declines the possibility as he doesn't even know what happened. After this incident, the entire academy heads to a round trip to Shang Grada, a city located in a paradise for Earth magicians. They land in the city and tour the place when suddenly another commotion happens as a man starts to act crazy. The soldiers detain him as Rosty's father, who is also the leader of this city. He checks man and orders for his salvation as he is sick beyond repair. The guards execute the man in the name of salvation. Melida feels weirded out as the whole town feels eerie. At night, Kuffa comes up to Melida and takes her to a secret spot to cure her mood. They enjoy their little date in the majestical place, after which they head home as Melida instantly falls asleep. The next morning, Melida wakes up when she hears the commotion outside. She rushes to the scene as she discovers a lot of corpses of children in the orphanage. The school staff also informs her that her instructor Kuffa is also missing, which puts him on everyone's target list. Later, an instructor is leading the students to a parade when Melida sneaks out but is caught by Black. Black helps her find information on mysterious spots in the city, one of which her instructor took her to last night. Black also informs her that Kuffa predicted that something like this would happen, so he assigned her to protect her. After finding the information, they head to the location only to find that it was a hoax. There is no mystery spot, and instead of that, there is a tunnel beneath it that leads to a dungeon. Inside the dungeon, there are corpses and stuff that seem to have been experimented on. Black explains to Melida that these corpses were injected with lycanthropes to make them monsters, but they failed, which killed them instead. They are about to inspect further, but Melida starts to hear voices that tell her that something bad is about to happen. She escapes the tunnel as she runs towards the city. When she arrives at the scene, she finds a huge crown, and inside the building, she finds Elise unconscious on the floor with blood around her. Fortunately, the blood doesn't belong to her but Rossetti, who is in her father's arms. Rosty's father blames Kuffa for her daughter's death as he considers him to be the one behind everything. Melida can't stomach this, so she takes Elise away to have her rest. Later at night, Melida is staying beside Elise when her friend comes into the room and tells her to escape as the village people are coming after her due to her connection with Kuffa. Melida escapes the room and runs towards another mysterious spot that she saw when they first arrived at the city. After destroying the boulder in front of the entrance, she heads inside as she finds a lab-like library with notes which have Rossetti's father's signature on them. She is about to dig in the files, but she starts to hear the voices again as Rossetti appears from behind and is about to attack her. Fortunately, Kuffa saves her as he also transforms into his vampire form. Seeing this, Rosty runs away, leaving both of them behind. Seeing his appearance, Melida is shocked as she looks at him with a weird gaze. Kuffa pounces on her as he informs her that he will make her forget everything using his ability. Melida holds his face with her hands and tells him that she believes in him and finds him quite attractive with his current appearance. Saying this, she kisses him on the lips, which leaves Kuffa shocked. He gets up and tells her about everything. In a flashback, their city was attacked by a lycanthrope. Kuffa was just 12 years old back then. Rosti was also there with him and was his younger sister, as they both were taken in by Rossetti's father, the Marquis. Kuffa used his vampire ability to blind the lycanthrope while another man killed it. To save Rossetti, he converts her into a vampire kin and heals her. But he also makes her forget about everything according to the deal he signed with the person in black clothes behind them. Hearing his story, Melida gets angry on his behalf as she promises that she will help in the revenge. They make a plan together as they head to execute it. The next day, the town is in the mood for celebration as Rossetti is getting married to another man. However, Melida crashes the wedding as she informs Rossetti that she kissed Kuffa twice. At first, Rossetti seems to be completely blind, but soon her eyes return to normal as her aura spikes up. They both exchange moves as Melida uses this chance to throw an attack at the priest, making him shriek in pain as he turns into lycanthrope. This reveals that the person behind every incident was this lycanthrope, not Kuffa. The priest runs to the underground tunnel where he is caught by Kuffa, who forces him into his original form. Rossetti also comes to his aid as he turns her back into her vampire form. Both of them bond up together to defeat the lycanthrope and restore the peace once again. Kuffa seals Rossetti's memories once again as everything returns to how it used to be. After this incident, Melida keeps on growing as she starts to get stronger. This attracts other people's attention as in the secret hidden chambers a bunch of nobles discuss Melida's class being different from that of her family. This raises certain questions, but the man in charge asks them to calm down as he has a way to naturally let all of this come into daylight without hurting anyone's reputation. While the students are preparing for their special first-year exams, a certain group of people are plotting against Melida. Melida is with Kufa in the academy hall when suddenly a man with a mask appears out of nowhere and declares himself as Melida's father. He tries to get close to her, but Kufa repels him as the man escapes through the window. However, this raises questions in everyone's mind whether the rumor about Melida's mother having an affair with someone else was true or not. Melida is in her room lying on the bed while Kufa messages her. He assures her that the events today were just a bluff to ruin her family's name. Therefore, he assigns a mission to her which will help her to redeem her family's name. Her mission is to clear the special exam in the Great Library, which is only for those who are in their second year. With this, she can prove her worth to everyone. After a few days, it's finally time for the exams as the girls are led by an instructor to the Great Library. The first-year students are to be only allowed access to the upper floors, which are safe for them. The bottom floors are very dangerous and not advised for newbies. Kufa is invited by Melida's father, who gives him Melida's resignation letter from the school. He wants her to drop out as it's not good for her. Kufa tries to explain Melida's worth when suddenly a teacher comes running into the room as she gives Melida's father a letter. It's a letter from an evil guild that states that the students are to be engulfed in darkness. On the other hand, inside the library, Melida and Elise are up against the ghosts of the library when the senior students come to their rescue. One of them is Mule, whom Kufa met before. They were also present at the secret meeting that planned for Melida's identity reveal. Their intentions are unknown as they help both Melida and Elise to pass the exam. Right when they are about to take their proof of passing and exit, Mule shows her true color as she opens the book that records Melida's class and takes it away. Melida realizes her intention and chases after her. The headmistress is impaled by one of the minions and falls. Just when everyone thought it was over, Kufa jumps in and kills all the enemies and rescues them. However, the fun doesn't end there, as the enemy has another form. Kufa can't reveal his identity, so he just stands there. Fortunately for him, the bandaged man comes to his rescue, who is now known as Williams. After taking care of the enemy, a man appears as he welcomes Williams to their guild. The man is none other than the one who saved Kufa during his flashback. On the other side, Melida has caught up to Mule as she asks her for her reason. Mule doesn't explain as she tells her that maybe she likes her too much. Saying this, she casts a spell which engulfs all of them. The spell transports them to an illusion where Melida is put on a trial to defend her position as the daughter of the Angel's family. Despite all the allegations against her, Melida denies it as she believes that she is the daughter of her father. The judge appreciates her bravery as he assigns her a challenge. If she can manage to defeat a child of a noble family, she will be granted her title of noble. Melida accepts the challenge and, using the techniques taught to her by Kufa, easily defeats her opponent. The judge is in a dilemma on what to do, so he taps on his table as darkness engulfs everything. Melida and the girls help everyone evacuate the trial as they face off against the judge. The judge is too strong for the girls to face alone, but to their surprise, Kufa manages to enter the trial and confronts the judge. Both the student and instructor join forces to defeat the mastermind behind their suffering. The illusion breaks as everyone is set free. Melida is also accepted by her father, who now believes that she is indeed his daughter. Hearing her father's words, Melida cries loudly as Kufa consoles her. Melida asks for her reward, which Kufa promised her if she passed the special exam. Melida wants nothing but a chance for her to risk her life for Kufa. She wants him to be able to live in this world with her without any fear of repercussions. Her wish puts a smile on Kufa's face as he kneels in front of her and takes her hand as he thinks in his heart that she is indeed his assassin's pride. That's all for today. If you enjoyed our video, give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content.